welcome to my channel. My name is Katie Ann, and this is my first YouTube video ever, so I'm super excited. Maybe like a little preface kind of thing here as to why I'm doing this. I've loved makeup for a really long time. I was a makeup artist for a while, and you can hear my cat meowing, I'm sorry. So yeah, I worked as a makeup artist, and then I realized that I didn't actually really like doing other people's makeup. I love doing my own makeup, I love talking about makeup, and then I was like, well, what else can I do with this? Like, I really want to do something to do with makeup, so what can I do? And then I started watching a lot of YouTube, and I was like, I could do that, like that could be me, like I'm down for that, whatever. I want my videos to be more like review based and more discussing products rather than tutorials. It's just kind of where my interest lies. I figured for my first video I couldn't just like jump into talking about products because you guys are gonna be like, who is this girl, like why does she think I care about her opinion? And maybe you'll never care about my opinion, I don't know. But yeah, so that's what kind of my logic behind doing this video today. For my first video, it kind of made sense for me to just go ahead and do a tutorial. You can see on my eyes, it's going to be kind of like a smoky, warm eye with a cut crease. I really hope you guys like it, and if you do, please subscribe to my channel before you go. And if you don't like it, well then, like, that's okay too, I guess. So off camera, I taped my eyes off just using like regular Scotch tape. Some people will say this is cheating, but honestly it just gives you such a nice clean line across here. It lines up your eyeshadow and your eyeliner. It's just super easy and it just looks cleaner and nicer. So I'm gonna go in with the Modern Renaissance palette. You can see this palette has had a lot of love in my day. And then I'm also gonna be alternating with the Huda Beauty Rose Gold eyeshadow palette. There's been mixed reviews about this palette. Honestly, I really do like it. Some of the mattes are a little bit hard to work with, and I really never touch these foils because they kind of suck. But these two shades are really nice, Moondust and Angelic. Angelic is like a really unique shade that I've never seen before, so it's super interesting. So yeah, just a little backstory on that. So I'm going to be going with Modern Renaissance. So I'm going to go in with Raw Sienna and Golden Ochre mixed together as like my transition color. So I'm going to grab a MAC 224 brush. This is like my favorite blending brush ever. It's super fluffy. It's the perfect size. So I just really like it a lot. Sorry, I have like 100 things in my hands right now. So I'm just going to mix those up, and then I'm going to go into my crease here. And when you're doing your crease, you don't want to go in on an angle like that because it's just going to muddy up your eye and you're going to get shadow in places that you don't want it. So you want to go in straight, like you're about to like jab your eye out. That's literally what you're trying to do here, but try not to jab your eye out. So you're just going to kind of go in circular motions on the outer third of your eye, and then as the product starts to get distributed more, it's going to become lighter, which you want, so you're going to just rub that around all over the top. And I explained that really badly, like, yeah, just rub it everywhere. That makes sense, Katie, like what the hell are you saying? Okay, anyways, so yeah, you're just gonna go in on a straight angle. Why can't I speak English today? What's wrong with me? Oh my god. Okay, so you're just gonna continue those circular motions, and so that's gonna be pretty well blended out. Now, you're gonna want to deepen that up. You're not just gonna want this one orange color, or maybe you do, and that's fine. Okay, so then just to darken up my crease, I'm gonna go in with Burnt Orange, which is this color right here. It's fairly similar to these, but it's just slightly warmer and slightly more intense, so it's just gonna give you a little bit more depth in your eye. So I'm gonna go in on that same MAC 224 brush and just darken up my crease area. That circular motion on the outer third of my eye, and as there starts to be less product on the brush, I'm just gonna start to sweep it in on the rest of my crease. So that's how it's looking so far. So I'm gonna switch over to my Huda Beauty palette. Like I said, I'd be alternating between the two, and if you're trying to do a warm look, by all means just use one palette. I'm just like super extra, and I like to use 800 things when I could really only use one. So I'm going to use the color Henna, and I'm actually going to switch out this MAC 224 brush for another MAC brush, and I'm going to be using the MAC 286 brush. It's just a little bit more of like a detailed blending brush, but it's still like pretty fluffy. It's just a little bit skinnier, so you can be a little bit more precise in where you're putting the product, because we're going to want to start to darken up this transition now, so you're not going to be wanting to use a huge brush. You're just going to want something that's a little bit smaller just so you can concentrate more in that crease area. So I've dipped into Henna, which again is this color. Sorry, I literally have 100 things in my hands right now, which is this color right here. It's a little bit of a darker, warm color. It's kind of like even almost red, I would say. So you're going to, again, start on the outer third of your eye and like really concentrate the color there. And as the color starts to come off the brush and you have less product on your brush, you're going to start to sweep that right in the crease. And you're basically going to almost keep your eye open because you really want it to be concentrated right in that crease, and if you close your eye, you're gonna find yourself putting it in places you don't want to put it. Back in with that MAC 224 blending brush, which I was using for the other 3 colors, and I'm just gonna really swirl everything around and just take a second to blend it all out, to just make sure that there's no harsh lines, it doesn't look blocky. You want everything to be seamless. I'm gonna stick with this Huda Beauty palette for another minute, and I'm gonna go in again with that MAC 224, I'm gonna go in again with that MAC 286 brush that I just used for this last color, Henna. And I'm gonna go into Cocoa, which is this color here. It's a little bit of a darker, like chocolate brown kind of situation, but it's not the darkest color we're gonna be using, which is why I'm still sticking with with a blending type brush, but like a little more of a precise blender. So we're just gonna get Cocoa on the brush. And we're gonna only put this on the outer third. We're not really gonna drag this into the transition, into the crease on the inner part of the eye all that much, because we wanna start to create that like ombre effect. And if you're dragging every dark color everywhere, you're not really gonna get as strong of an effect like that. Like, you definitely still wanna bring it in a little just to stop it from being blocky. But we're not gonna fully drag it through like we did before. I'm gonna switch back over to the Modern Renaissance palette, and I'm gonna go into Cypress Umber. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that. These names are like super confusing to say, or maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Probably I'm just stupid. But if I'm butchering these names, I'm really sorry. So anyways, I'm gonna go into Cypress Umber. And it's a little bit darker than Cocoa, which is the last one we touched into on the Huda Beauty palette. And we're gonna take a MAC 2. I've used this brush so many times, I've like rubbed the number off of it, but I think it says 219. So we're gonna go with that. It's a MAC 219. And it's just like a very precise little pencil brush. It's quite soft. It's not super dense, which is nice, because I find with super dense pencil brushes, it's gonna deposit the color in one spot. And then even when you try to blend it out, it's gonna be like, no girl, like I'm not here for it. We're staying right here. So you don't want that. So a nice like kind of softer pencil brush is really gonna do the job for you. So I'm just gonna dip into Cypress Umber, and we're gonna put that in the outer third of your eye, and we're gonna kind of concentrate it in like this middle area here. You don't want to bring it up because it's not gonna blend well. So we're gonna put it in the bottom and just bring it up to where your crease is, and then stop, just like that. And it looks really crazy right now, but when I blend it out, it's gonna look a lot better. And I'm just gonna touch in one more time and do it again, and stop. And then again, I'm going to go in with this MAC 224 brush. You're going to hear me talking about this brush like 1,000 times throughout this video, and you're going to be like, Katie, if I hear you say MAC 224 one more time, I'm like going to kill you. But seriously, this brush is amazing, and like really any blending brush is going to work for you, but this one is just like, if I lost this, like a part of me would die with it. I really hope they never stop making this brush, because if they do and I lose this, I'm going to be really upset. I should really buy a backup, or like 6 backups. Who knows? So I'm just gonna really like drag all that through. So see, it's creating like a really seamless kind of look. You don't want blocks of color, and to stop that from happening, going in with your original blending brush with no product on it, we're not touching back into the product with this brush, is really going to create that seamless look for you. And if you just use these like windshield wiper type motions, it's really going to do it for you. You're going to be really impressed. So I'm just going to close up this Modern Renaissance palette. I'm going to be done with this for now, and I'm going to move on to my Tarte Shape Tape. I know you hear everyone talk about this concealer, and just briefly, if I'm being honest, I don't think that this concealer is all that it's cracked up to be. I think like when I heard so much about it, and I literally got this and was like, it's gonna change my life, it's gonna pay my bills, it's gonna like make me have nice clothes, it's gonna make me have better skin. Is okay. I mean, it's good, and I'm gonna finish my tube. I bought a lot of it, like 4 tubes I think, and I gave the rest of them away except for this one. I'm from Canada, so I had to go to the States to get this, and it's just kind of like, I don't know. But anyways, moving on. So I'm just gonna take some of the Tarte Shape Tape concealer, and I'm gonna rub some off on the back of my hand, and then I'm gonna take this brush. I have honestly no idea what this brush is. I don't even know where I acquired it, like, to be completely honest with you. It says Sephora on it, so obviously I guess it's from Sephora. So anyways, I'm going to just take some of the Tarte Shape Tape concealer on this little Sephora brush that we don't know what it is, and I'm just going to tap onto my eye, like that. And what you want to do when you do this is open your eye and look up, because see where it hits my eye there? That's where I know I need to cut my crease, because if I cut it lower than that, I'm just going to get transfer, and it's just going to look really weird. So we're going to start with that line, and I'm just going to drag it across. This brush isn't really working all that well for this. I didn't really think this one through. I lost the brush that I always use for this, and this one looked similar, so it's like, okay, whatever, we'll just use this, but it's not really cutting it as clean as I want it to, but whatever, it's fine, I guess. So right now this line is gonna look really like not nice, but we're gonna blend it out and make it seamless after. I'm just gonna go ahead and do the other eye off camera. Okay, so I had to stop using that other brush because it was totally like not going my way, and even now I'm trying to fix this and it's still not really going my way. But that's just the way that it is sometimes, I guess. Okay, so I'm done cutting my crease now. It's a little bit of a small disaster, let's just say, because that brush was really like, no, Katie, we're not here for this, or this is not going to work today. This is not what we're doing. So I was just going to leave it matte, but because it turned out like this is not working for me. So I'm going to go over with some shimmer on top, and that's just going to kind of hide like everything that went wrong with this. So the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place, you might have heard of this brand before. It's an indie brand. You can only buy it online as far as I know. This palette is like amazing quality. The pens are huge. The colors you get are really unique. They have a whole other line. I'll link their website down below so that you can see the different stuff that they have. If you've never heard of them before, you should definitely look into them. Super reasonably priced, and they're really great. So this palette, I got this from my friend because she didn't want it anymore, so she gave it to me. And so just for the record, it did not come from Juvia's. I can't even like fully lift it up because it's gonna like ruin everything. It did not come from Juvia's Place like this. So this shade Zuri is what I'm gonna be doing over where I put concealer on my lid. I'm just gonna put this down because honestly, like I've had it in my hand for 4 seconds and you can already see like it's making such a mess. And I'm just gonna go over my eye. Like, are you kidding me? This is insane. This is gonna fix everything that's wrong with the world, I'm telling you. Like, I literally just want to start putting this all over my face. If I could like break up 1,000 of those and fill a bathtub with them and bathe in it, I would. That's how dramatic I am about how much I love this eyeshadow. If you don't have this palette but you have the Modern Renaissance palette that I was using before, they have a shade between Primavera and Vermeer. Again, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering this. Between these two shades, you could create something similar to this, especially Primavera. It's that like champagne-y, like light gold color, but just the quality of Zuri, I have to pick Zuri, I'm sorry. But if you wanted a dupe for it when you're using this palette, Primavera is quite close. Okay, what do we want to do next? Okay, so I still need to kind of blend out the harshness of these outside lines. I'm gonna go in with the MAC 224 brush. Of course, no surprise there. And I'm going to just start to soften this edge. I didn't dip into any product on this brush. I'm literally just like softening this edge and blurring it out, which is really what you want. So now that we're done the eyeshadow look, I'm just going to go apply lashes and liner off camera. Okay, so this is the final look. I went and threw some lashes on off camera and did some eyeliner top and bottom, and then I went on camera and started showing me smoking out my bottom lash line, but then I realized I was just talking to myself for 5 minutes because I wasn't filming. So those are the joys of being a new YouTuber, I suppose. But anyways, this is the final look. I used Huda Beauty lashes in the style Sasha. These are some of my favorite lashes ever. They give you like a really nice cat eye look. They're very fluffy, they're very long, they're super dramatic, so like they're not for anybody who like is into like the natural look. If you're into anything natural, this is not the channel for you. I love everything to be very over the top and like more is more. So yeah, this is the final look. Thank you so much for watching.